since I recorded anything. I pre-recorded some videos before I left for Christmas. Enough to have like one a week, except for last week. But that means I haven't actually recorded anything in like 5 weeks, so it's a bit weird for me to sit down in front of a camera and record anything. But I'm also happy because I really missed it. So today I just wanted to do a whisper ramble, give some updates. I have one big life update to give, which I think I'll start with because it's kind of the biggest thing I have to say, I think. So I got promoted at work to manager, which I am super happy about. I have been working so hard the last year towards that. Oh God, I'm trying not to make this too rambly. I want to organize my thoughts a little bit, but they're just kind of all coming at once. So I found out about it mid-December. My manager called me and told me that she was moving on to a different role, still within our department, just not in my team exactly, and that they were promoting me to that position. Now, I do feel like I've earned it because I worked very hard for it. Like, my manager had been grooming me to become a manager for months now, really. I became a part-time team lead in July of 2019, shared with another person on my team. So I was team lead for half the team, and then I was still half-time doing my own job. And then the other person went on maternity leave in December, and then so from January onwards, I became full-time team lead for the entire team, with like my own job kind of being taken away. And really, over the months, that turned into more of a management job. I was already doing a lot of management tasks, so I had been really training towards becoming a manager. So I'm like super happy that it finally happened, but I couldn't really tell anyone because it wasn't being announced to the team until January. So I knew about it mid-December, and I have a couple of friends within my department, but I couldn't tell them because no one was supposed to know yet. So I've just been like bottling it up the whole time. I have one friend here in Ireland that before I left for Christmas, I visited and I brought a bottle of champagne and we celebrated it in between 2 lockdowns when we were allowed to see each other. And then when I was in Spain, I celebrated it with a cava breakfast with my parents. So I've been able to celebrate it somewhat, but I haven't really been able to freak out to too many people about it because it was still kind of under wraps. But we announced it this week, so I'm officially allowed to freak out about it. So yeah, I'm officially managing my team, which I'm super happy about. I'm not expecting it to change my workload too much because, like I said, I've kind of already been doing the job for a year. Some tasks will be added on, but some tasks that I was still doing will be taken away, so I think it balances each other out. I don't think it's gonna drastically change my workload. So yeah, with that, I'm hoping I can buy a house this year, although I won't actually get a pay increase until a few months from now, so I'm gonna have to wait a little bit longer to find out what that is and like what budget I can get for a house and all that stuff. So I'm hoping to get a house before the end of the year, but I'm not sure. I don't know how it works in other countries. But in Ireland, if you buy a house, So I'm not expecting that until like the end of the year, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, that was the first life update. I mean, it's the only life update really at the moment. I'm expecting a few more along the year maybe, but yeah, that's the first one of the year so far. So yeah. So I went to Spain for Christmas and New Year's. It was a big decision because I don't think traveling in these times is a very good idea. But my parents really, really wanted. My lighting is still doing that thing where it goes dark light, dark light. I cannot. I'm sorry. It bothers me so much when I see it happening and I can't figure out why it's doing it. The only thing that's different in this setup is those lights in the background. Is it focusing on those? I might switch them off and see if that changes it at all, because I'm like, no, it's still going dark. What is it? I don't get it. I didn't change anything about my setup. And it never did this before, and now it's like light dark all the time. Oh gosh, sorry, it bothers me. Anyway, so yeah, my parents really wanted me to come over, me and my brother. Now my brother ended up not making it because his flight got canceled a few weeks before Christmas. And at that point, Belgium had put stricter measures in on traveling, and he couldn't self-quarantine for 2 weeks because he had to go back to work in January, so he decided not to come. And I debated it for a long time because I said to my parents, like, I don't want to pick something up along the way and then give it to you and make you sick. But they really wanted me to come over, so I did. And it ended up being great. Like, the weather was really nice except for the last week. I'm sure a lot of you saw on the news that it snowed a lot in Spain. Madrid had the worst snow in years. Where my parents are, it didn't snow because it's too far south. It doesn't snow there. But it was very cold. We got a lot of rain in the last week, and then the first like 2.5 weeks it was really sunny, but it was just cold. It was one of the coldest winters they've ever had in that region, so I definitely noticed that it was colder than usual when I'm there, but I still really enjoyed it. Like, just to get a bit of sun was really nice. But I did work from there. And then I came back on Tuesday, so the numbers in Ireland are really bad. Ireland was one of the best countries in Europe, like, before Christmas, and now we're like the worst country in Europe. It's so bad over here, so I was really, really worried about coming back. But I mean, I chose to travel, so it was my own responsibility. I had to come back at some point. So we'll see. It's day 5 now since I'm back. I feel pretty good still. I think if you get it, most people, I think, start showing symptoms around day 5 or 6. So I think if I'm here for a week and still okay, I'll feel confident about it. We are in a complete lockdown, the same as the very first lockdown we had. It's like all non-essential retail is fully closed. Schools are closed. Construction has stopped. We are allowed to go outside to exercise, but not more than 2 kilometers. No, it's still 5, I think. Not more than 5 kilometers from our house. And I've seen a lot of police checkpoints on the road. Like, they are ramping up their checkpoints to see that people are sticking to the rules because the cases are so bad here. It's not a huge deal for me. I tend to stay at home a lot anyway. I ordered groceries on Wednesday and collected them. And it's not in in store, you collect them outside. Just so I don't have to socialize with people too much. I can't anyway, I have to quarantine for 14 days. And I try to be very careful that I don't come into contact with other people in that time. So I try to stick to that very much. So yeah, I had a pretty good Christmas and New Year's. I hope you all did too. Happy New Year, by the way. I haven't spoken to you guys since. So back to being at home now. I'm trying a couple of different things. Like in Spain, I got up every day at 9 to have breakfast with my parents. And I've been getting up at 9 every day since I got back. I used to always start work around noon because I worked a lot with the US, and then I would work until like 8 or 9 in the evening. But I'm trying to feel a little bit more. Like, it didn't make me feel very good because I would go to sleep at like 2 or 3 a.m. But as soon as it became light outside, when it was like 7 or 8, I would wake up all the time. So I didn't sleep particularly solid for those last few hours, and I would always be exhausted during the day. So I'm trying to be more of a human being now, or feel more like a human being, and go to sleep between 11 and midnight and get up at like 8:30 or 9. And I've been doing that every day this week and still sticking with it. Today is Saturday. I got up at 10, which is unusual on a Saturday. I don't usually get up until like 1 p.m. I was planning to sleep a bit later, I will admit, but the mailman rang me out of my bed at 10, and then I was like, oh well, might as well just stay up. I went to sleep pretty early last night, so I felt fairly awake. And then I'm trying to stop working at like 5 or 6 and have a little bit of a normal evening. So that's something I'm trying to do. I'm really hoping to get back into recording 2 videos a week as well. I know I've said that before, and I really want to do it. It's just, I find it hard to commit to a recording schedule, but I'm really going to make an effort. Like today and tomorrow, I plan to pre-record a bunch of videos so that I have something for a couple of weeks, because if I have to record multiple times a week, I know that I kind of lose the will to do it a little bit. If I leave it for a couple of weeks, I can't wait to get back into it. So I think if I just record a few every week and then I don't have to record for a couple of weeks, I think that just works better for me. Problem at the moment is schools are out, which means all the kids are home 24/7. At the moment, so far, it's been okay. I have to say the weather's been crap too, so they haven't really been outside. I think today is dry outside, so maybe I hear them a little bit. I don't hear them too much. I hope it'll be okay. I would really like to have like a day where I can record multiple videos, and of course it'll depend very much on what goes on in my estate. But for now, I think it's okay. That's a big thing. If they close the schools, it's bad. Like, they always try to keep the schools open as long as possible, and they are not at the moment, so yeah. Then a little health update. My stomach is still not good. I went to a GP in December. He prescribed me some anti-reflux medication, even though I never feel like I have reflux because I never get acid. He thinks I might have silent reflux, and I have to say, the medication has improved my throat symptoms. Like, whenever I, go to bed at night, I would cough all the time. I always feel like I'm swallowing phlegm. Like, I definitely have some symptoms of it. Just not like really bad. But I have to say, since taking the medication, that has gone away. But the gas in my stomach has not. it's stress related. Like, I had about 4 or 5 days in Spain where my stomach was great. Literally, not a burp all day. Like, it felt really, really good. And then I started working again and I got it straight back, even though I don't feel stressed at work. I am, because at the end of the day, I feel it. So I think, I know that when I get really, really like mad or anxious about something, my stomach is horrible. So I think if I'm even just a little bit stressed, it sets itself on my stomach. And I think, I don't know if that's the only thing, but I think that's definitely part of it. I feel like my anxiety is better lately. The last few days, especially, I think since we told everyone the news and like that bit of uncertainty is gone, I feel a lot calmer. But I notice now, for example, that my breathing is a little bit labored, and that is my biggest problem lately. I think I'm not breathing correctly when I'm talking, because I notice it when I get off the phone with a friend as well, like where we talk for half an hour and I'm like happy and excited and I'm not nervous about anything, that at the end of it I'm like gasping for air, because that just seems to be how I talk. I think I'm not breathing properly when I'm talking, and it makes me like breathe a little labored, and then from there on it usually just kind of spirals out of control a little bit. And I notice that still throughout the day, that after a couple of hours I start tensing up all my muscles, not realizing it until I start noticing little things that then get out of control. So yeah, I don't know. I need to be a little bit more mindful of myself and things I'm doing, and that's definitely something I want to work on in 2021. I just bought a Nintendo Switch game called Ring Fit, which has apparently been out since 2019, and I only heard about it like a month ago. And it's an exercise game, which I don't usually use, but it has yoga on it. Now, when I used to have a Wii Fit, I would do the yoga on it all the time. But then I sold my Wii Fit, and Nintendo never really came out with a game since that has like yoga on it. So this one I think is very similar to the Wii Fit. It has a whole yoga program. Like, you can put your own program together, select what poses you want to do, and then kind of like build out how long you want to do yoga for. And that's something I want to really do, is do yoga hopefully every day, just for like 20 minutes to half an hour, maybe over lunch, to just calm myself and take a mental break from work and stretch out all my muscles and stuff like that. That's something I really want to do. I would love to do the other games on it too. There are like running games where you just run on the spot, which I always think looks a little silly, but you have like this big ring that you're holding, and then you like pick up things along the way in the game and stuff, and it's like, it's a game where you exercise, and it looks like a lot of fun. So I'm hoping that that's something I can do. Because I feel like I need to work a little bit on my mental and physical health in 2021. My GP does want me to get a gastroscopy done as well. And honestly, I might just get it done because I'm tired of this feeling. I just want to get it over with. I think there's a good chance they won't find anything, and it'll be like it's from stress. But at least then I know. Like, I just kind of want, if it is something and they can fix it, I would be so relieved. Like, I've had this for about 5 or 6 years. I'm not worried it's anything bad. Neither is my GP. He knows I've had it for years. It's not pressing for him that I get it done, but he just thinks I should get it done because he doesn't really know what it is either. He told me not to be worried about getting it done now because hospitals are super clean and very careful about COVID. But now that the numbers have gotten so bad, I'd rather wait a little bit. I can't get it done right now anyway because I'm still quarantining for 14 days, which is pretty much until the end of January. But I might look into, I have to go back to him. He did some blood work, which came back fine. But he sent off, like, it was weird. He sent me a text over Christmas and was like, I sent off 2 samples, but 1 sample never made it. So you're going to have to come in once you're back and get another blood sample taken for testing. And I was like, okay. So I may get that done in February and then get him to refer me for a gastroscopy. I'm guessing it'll take another couple of weeks at least for an appointment. So hopefully by then the cases will all be a little bit better. And I can get that checked out and hopefully handled. And then other than that, I hope that this year we can get rid of COVID, or at least as we know it, that everyone can get a vaccine no matter how you feel about it. I am definitely getting one. I have full faith in the medical world, so I am definitely getting one. I would love to travel again. I can't complain, okay? Like last year, I still went to Spain twice and Belgium once. And I went to London. Like, I took a week off last year in February to go to London, and then from there on, I went to Spain, and that was all before COVID really happened in Europe. I had to come back early because every country was going into lockdown, and then I went to Belgium in the summer for like 8 or 9 weeks, and then back to Spain for Christmas, so I really can't complain. The problem is that I didn't take any time off except for that 1 week. I just don't see the purpose of taking a week off when you're staying at home on your couch. Like, I think it's great if you have a family and you can go do stuff with your kids. But I live alone, like, sitting on my couch watching TV. I love doing that, but I don't want to take a week off from work just to do that. So I had so many days off left by the end of the year that I took a lot of 4-day weekends, but my job and other people in my department have said that. It's not just me who feels that way, but my job is very consuming and it takes like 3 days just to stop thinking about work. So a 4-day weekend doesn't really cut it, and I really, really need a break. But again, until I can go somewhere, I just don't think it's worth taking a whole week off for. So I'm hoping that maybe April or May, I can book a week off somewhere to the sun with some palm trees. Like Florida, I don't see happening this year. If I want to buy a house, it's more timing. That's a problem. And budget. I don't know the budget that I'm going to need. I don't know the timing of getting a house. I can't plan for something like that this year. And I'm not usually a week by the pool kind of person. I'm usually an active holiday type of person, but I want nothing more right now than a week off in the sun with some palm trees with a cocktail by the pool. Like, that's all I want right now, and I'm sure a lot of people feel that way. And I'm really hoping I can get that. Realistically, though, if I get a vaccine, it won't happen until the summer or after the summer, so maybe I can't go before that. I'm kind of tired of traveling this way. It's very stressful. I disinfect my hands like every 5 minutes, and I'm not even exaggerating. Every time I touch a surface, I disinfect my hands. I'm like super paranoid. I bring sanitizing wipes and I wipe down like my tray table on the plane and my armrests and my seatbelt. Like, I'm super, super just paranoid about this thing. And it makes it very stressful to travel, and I just don't really want to do it anymore until things get better. So with that prospect, I'm going to be in Ireland until at least the summer, I think. okay with that. Honestly, I'm super grateful for this new job. It's gonna keep me busy enough. And I'm super grateful that I even got to go to places last year, and I'm sure it'll happen again this year. We just have to bite the bullet and wait. If I really, really, really need a mental health break, I might just suck it up and take a week off just to be home. But I need, at some point, a break from work, and we're not due a holiday until March. St. Patrick's Day is Ireland's first public holiday of the year, so it's going to be a while. I'll see how busy it is. Start of the year is usually a bit quieter, so maybe I'll be okay. But I'm hoping that for everyone, that we can all go back to somewhat normal life, at least by the end of this year. I think we've all struggled enough, I think. I'm hoping for a peaceful transition of power in the United States. I don't want to get into politics and I don't really care who you voted for. I just hope that after those riots, which were horrible, that it'll be peaceful next Wednesday and that it'll remain peaceful for the foreseeable future. That's a big change too. Yeah, I think that's about it for things I wanted to say. Is that it? Yeah, I think that was it. Pretty much. So, thank you guys all so much for sticking with me. I know that it's been not a lot lately, but I'm really hoping that I can do a little bit better this year with recording. I also just really want to. I love editing, I love uploading. The actual recording is what I struggle the most with. But I love my channel and I love making videos, and I really want to do that. I just have to get around to doing it. I also wanted, as a side note, a lot of you commented in my first video after I started doing my eyebrows differently that you loved my eyebrows and that you wanted me to do a tutorial on them. And I really wanted to do that, but they are already overgrown again because I cannot do my own eyebrows, tweeze them. I can't. I actually recently tried to trim them myself and I cut a piece out of it. And so I'm not touching them. But the girl who does my eyebrows can't open at the moment. And from the announcement from the government yesterday, it looks like they will be closed until at least March. And my heart breaks for her. As much as I feel sorry for my eyebrows, I feel so much more sorry for her because she only opened her own business at the end of 2019. And she's been closed more than she's been open. So it's a huge loss of income for her. And I feel so bad for everyone who's going through that right now. But it definitely means that by March, my eyebrows are going to be a unibrow. I just don't see any other way. I also really need to dye my hair again. I have gotten so gray, you guys. Really, it's not too bad because I dyed it November, I think. But even now, I can see it coming up the front. I did a video in November in front of my Christmas tree with my hair up. And all I could see here were streaks of gray. And I just thought, when editing, I was like, what is that? I've gotten more gray in the last year than I have in all the years combined. It's just, it's so bad. So I need to keep up with dyeing my hair. It's one of those things that I just never think of. When I dye my hair at home, I do it once every 6 months or so. And now I really have to look into doing it once every 2 or 3 months because my